wrestling at all. Anyone out?
If you're picking Paddy, then that means you think Paddy is going to take him down. Which, by the way, you're then counting on a lot of luck once he gets there. You know, or a lot of good success once he gets there, keeping him there, submitting him, passing to positions, pounding him out, whatever it is you think's going to happen. But it has to start with the takedown, if you subscribe to that. And meanwhile, the argument would be, if it stays on his feet, that it would go to Gaethje. Is it that straightforward? I don't think so. And based on what we've seen, I could see where you could come to that conclusion. I'm just sharing, if you follow the sport as a whole, we don't really see that anymore. We don't really see a lot of this, this guy's the better striker and this guy's the better grappler. That's very 1993 thinking. And we've dismissed Paddy for so long. I mean,
Not anyone close to your level.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it doesn't matter, because it's such a crazy sport. It's such a small, it's 25 minutes in time. None of that's going to matter. Nothing in the future or before is going to matter. It's going to be about being perfect right then, right now. I'm going to tell myself every single day that he's coming to hurt me. And that's a mistake I've made in the past where, I thought maybe I didn't think I was in as much danger as I was. And that is a fatal mistake in this sport. And so I understand how dangerous this kid is. I understand how much he wants this, and how hard it's going to be to take it from him.
His grappling is so bad, he couldn't stop an attacker going after his mom. The words dropped like a bomb, echoing across social media. Paddy Pimblett, known for his brash confidence, uncorked a statement so audacious, so personal, it instantly ignited a firestorm of controversy. Fans and fellow fighters were in disbelief, many calling it a line that crossed all boundaries. This wasn't just typical fight trash talk, it was a deeply cutting, wildly unhinged declaration that put an immediate target on Paddy's back and had the entire fight community reeling. The backlash was swift, brutal, and utterly relentless, painting a picture of a fighter unconcerned with public perception, yet facing the biggest fight of his career.
Two say it's going to be Gaethje, and two says it's going to be Paddy. There was a consensus, though, and I don't know if I agree with this, but I don't know, because I haven't really given this a lot of thought. There was a consensus that Paddy has to take Gaethje down, and that if you go back and you look over the history of Gaethje's career, people don't take him down. Right? If you're not named Khabib, you likely don't have a takedown over Justin Gaethje. That's true. That might not be literal, but just like thinking about his career off the top of my head, that sounds close to right. So, do you agree with that much? Do you agree that Paddy has to take him down? And if you're picking Paddy, then that means you think Paddy is going to take him down.
The internet exploded. Twitter feeds filled with outrage. YouTube comments became a battleground of disgust and defense. People were genuinely shocked by Paddy's comments about Dan Hooker. Many condemned him as a trash human being, demanding respect and declaring the line off limit. Even Dan Hooker himself responded with a wild retort, promising to settle the score. This wasn't just noise, it was a character assassination playing out in real time, leaving Paddy visibly more disliked, even as he became more visible, a dangerous combination before stepping into the Octagon with a stone-cold killer.
We've dismissed Paddy for so long. I mean, I feel like we've dismissed him for 8 fights. Is he now 8-0 in the UFC? That's off the top of my head, but I think I'm right. Is he now 4 years in the UFC? That's off the top of my head, but I think I'm right. And yeah, he does favor grappling, but he used to favor grappling to submissions. Now he's favoring grappling to ground and pound. So the only thing that you really learn through that statement is that you don't really know what he's going to do. And he doesn't really do something until somebody shows a defense to what he prefers to do, right? You get your first option, your second option, your third option. Guys are good enough, you never see the third option. It was questioned many times how good of a striker is Khabib. Well, what difference does it make? I mean, you could tell me that you've never seen him strike, but the other side of the coin is you've never seen anybody stop the takedown, so why would he strike? Like, it gets to be a little bit philosophical. Is there anything we've seen or even heard from training footage from Paddy that says that he can't fight on his feet? No.
Michael Bisping weighed in, dismissing much of the controversy. To Bisping, all the trash talk, the backlash, the headlines, none of it truly matters once the cage door slams shut. He asserted that the extra beef means absolutely nothing when two elite fighters are locked in a steel box. The noise might generate views and attention, but it doesn't land punches or defend takedowns. For Bisping, the fight itself is a stark, simple equation. Win, and all the outside drama vanishes. Lose, and the talking was for naught, leaving the division to move on without you.
Now, I'm not going to defend Paddy, but I'm going to kind of defend him, if you know what I'm saying. Now, he said Dan Hooker's grappling was so bad that he couldn't stop, you know, an attacker going after his mum. You've got to be careful on YouTube what you say. So, we all know John played the clip.
And lad, people are saying, like, Justin Gaethje, he's older than that, lad. He's 2 years older than Dan Hooker.
That's true.
Dan Hooker couldn't grapple off his ma. You know what I mean?
Okay, strong statements about Dan Hooker there.
He said that, right, which is a wild line. He was just having a laugh. And I know a lot of people are shocked by this, and I know a lot of people said that's out of bounds, it's off limits, have a bit of respect, you're a trash human being. I mean, all you got to do is have a look on Twitter and some YouTube comments. People are really going after Paddy for this. And obviously Dan Hooker came out with a wild response as well. We'll get to that in a second. But just on Paddy here, you got to remember, he's a lad from Liverpool, where they do have a great sense of humour, but also, you know, it can be a little cutting. It can be.
Bisping also highlighted the intense pressure squarely on Paddy's shoulders. Justin Gaethje, an established veteran, has already proven his worth at the highest level, making this fight less about his legacy and more about his continued dominance. Paddy, however, has everything to prove. A win catapults him into title contention and validates all the hype and controversy. A loss halts his momentum, potentially derailing his trajectory. For Bisping, Justin holds the comfort of being established, while Paddy carries the burden of proving he belongs, making the stakes astronomically higher for the Scouser.
Gaethje, and if he beats Gaethje, he becomes the interim champion. After that, Dan Hooker's off his radar, right? He will not get to fight Dan Hooker. The only person he's going to fight next is either Ilia Topuria, if Ilia comes back soon, which I hope he does, because he only just became the champion, or it's going to be Arman Tsarukyan, right? Now, Arman Tsarukyan, a lot of people felt that he should have got the title shot. As we know, there was a few circumstances pulling out of the fight. He headbutted Dan Hooker when he beat him recently. And Dana White just kind of like admitted that definitely played a factor into him not getting a title shot.
Did the headbutt play any factor in the decision to not go with him? It did, right?
A lot of things have factored in, you know.
Not being dependable, headbutting your opponents at weigh-ins and stuff like that. It's not a good look, because if that had have opened up a cut on Dan Hooker, the main event, where was it? In Qatar, would have been off. Do you know what I'm saying? So Arman's incredible, right? But Paddy went after him, said that, you know, he's a crap grappler and all the rest of it. I hope he breaks his neck and all that type of shit. He said Dan Hooker almost had him in a guillotine. But anyway, if Paddy beats Justin, none of this matters.
Chael Sonnen initially found himself leaning heavily towards Justin Gaethje. His gut reaction, based on their fighting styles and reputations, immediately favored Justin's proven power and destructive capabilities. This initial assessment reflected a common sentiment within the fight community, the belief that Justin's striking prowess would simply be too much for Paddy. However, Chael's perspective was soon challenged, revealing a more complex narrative beneath the surface, forcing a re-evaluation of what seemed like a straightforward matchup. The simplicity of his initial thought was about to be shattered by deeper insights into the fight.
It already was. I think a lot of the fans understood why you weren't going to fight Paddy Pimblett in a non-championship setting, but now it is for a belt, and that is the fight that is in front of you. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, Paddy Pimblett, I mean, this guy's got a ton of momentum, you know, a ton of confidence, and those are two variables that are tough to beat. I'm going to have to really steal that momentum early, and stay in my shell. I know this kid's going to be trying to kill me, and I know he's going to make mistakes. So I have to be ready to take advantage of these mistakes and fight a perfect fight. At the highest level, it's who makes mistakes.
What truly changed Chael's mind was a discussion among 4 industry insiders, perfectly split down the middle. 2 for Justin, 2 for Paddy. This division wasn't a superficial guess, it stemmed from a deep dive into potential pathways to victory. The crucial point that emerged was a consensus among the insiders. If Paddy were to win, it would almost certainly have to start with taking Justin down. This revelation highlighted the perceived difficulty of such a feat, pushing Chael to question the fight's simplicity and reconsider his initial lean toward the highlight.
He hasn't lost in the UFC, he's the younger man. Those things can be factored into a betting line. Have you seen the odds for the fight?
Yeah, I love that I'm an underdog. I think I'm 8-2 or 8-3 as an underdog in the UFC. 2017, I fought the top 5 in the world every year, consistently, and I'm still here. If I wasn't as good as I am, then I wouldn't be here, and I still am here because I am one of the best in the world. It's just such a crazy sport. It's such a small fraction of time. We're talking thousands of minutes till January 24th, and I got to be 25-minute fight, and you have to be perfect for 25 minutes. And all I can do is prepare mentally, physically, and be thankful when I get there because it's such a fucking crazy sport. But Paddy Pimblett is a very popular guy right now, and it's going to do great things. I'm going to do the same thing I did for the Khabib and Tony thing. I'm going to fuck this up. Paddy wants to fight Ilya, Ilya wants to fight Paddy. Yeah. That's what they want, but I'm here to fuck it up again. And that's what I do.
You're one of the best.
The widespread consensus that Paddy absolutely must take Justin down to win is a recurring theme, echoing through the opinions of many experts. This belief stems from Justin's renowned striking and knockout power, making a stand-up war a perilous proposition for any opponent. The path to victory for Paddy, it seems, is universally accepted as a grappling-heavy approach, aiming to neutralize Justin's hands and exploit any ground weaknesses. However, this seemingly clear strategy hides a monumental challenge, one that few in the sport have ever truly overcome against Gaethje.
I want Justin to beat Paddy. Yeah. Because that Justin, he's gonna fight with me, but Paddy, if Paddy wins, he's gonna try to avoid me and trying not to fight me because he's not man like Justin.
And therein lies the monumental hurdle. Justin Gaethje's takedown defense is legendary. Experts noted that if your name isn't Khabib Nurmagomedov successfully taking down Justin Gaethje, let alone keeping him there, is an almost impossible task. His ability to stay on his feet, or quickly return there, has frustrated countless elite grapplers. The idea that Paddy has to take him down clashes starkly with Gaethje's career history of shutting down such attempts, turning what seems like a simple game plan into an extraordinary, uphill battle from the first bell.
Quick tale of the tape between these two. Justin Gaethje, 26-5. Paddy Pimblett, 23-3. 37 years old to 31, so big age gap here. 5'11 to 5'10. 70 to 73, so Paddy Pimblett going to be younger. Also will have a 3-inch reach advantage in this matchup. But let's start first with the highlight. Justin Gaethje, have a look at this matchup. I did mention it there. It is 5 rounds for the interim title. He is 26-5. He's got 19 knockouts, 2 submissions, and 4 decisions. Currently ranked number 4 in the lightweight division. He'll have a 1-inch height advantage in this fight, but that's about it. He's also a former UFC interim lightweight champion. I believe he'll be the first fighter in UFC history to win 2 interim titles if he does win here. So we'll see how that goes.
Chael Sonnen dismissed the outdated notion of pure striker versus pure grappler as very 1993 thinking. He argued that in modern MMA, fighters are far too well-rounded for such simplistic categorizations. The idea that one fighter is exclusively a better striker and another solely a better grappler no longer holds water at the elite level. This evolution means fighters can no longer rely on a single dimension, forcing them to adapt and integrate various martial arts to succeed. A reality that makes predicting outcomes based on single skill sets inherently flawed and often misleading. Paddy's style has quietly undergone a significant evolution. According to Chael, For so long, he was primarily known for favoring grappling to secure submissions. However, his recent fights show a clear shift. Now he favors grappling for ground and pound, demonstrating a new emphasis on control and damage, not just the finish. This subtle but crucial change makes him far harder to read and prepare for, removing the predictability of his early career. Opponents can no longer simply anticipate a submission attempt. They now face a multifaceted threat once he gets them to the canvas. A philosophical point arose. Critics question Paddy's striking ability, yet they've rarely seen it tested. The counter-argument is simple. Why would he strike if no one can stop his takedown? This circular logic suggests that his perceived lack of striking display isn't a deficiency, but a strategic choice based on his grappling dominance. If opponents can't defend the initial takedown, there's no need for Paddy to show his full stand-up arsenal, leaving an intriguing question mark over a significant part of his game that remains largely unseen and untested at the highest level. Justin Gaethje, remarkably, isn't dismissing Paddy's confidence or momentum as mere hype. Instead, he views these intangible qualities as the actual problem. For Justin, a fighter's belief and self-assurance can lead them to take calculated, dangerous risks that might otherwise be avoided. He recognizes that Paddy's current run, fueled by unwavering self-belief, makes him an even more formidable and unpredictable opponent. This grounded perspective underscores Justin's respect for the mental game, understanding that confidence, when earned, is a powerful weapon in any fighter's arsenal. Justin's game plan is remarkably disciplined. He intends to steal that momentum early and stay in my shell, patiently waiting for Paddy to make mistakes. He acknowledges Paddy's aggressive intent, stating, "I know this kid's gonna be trying to kill me. This isn't bravado. It's a cold, calculated strategy to absorb early pressures, neutralize Paddy's initial surge, and then capitalize on any openings that emerge from overzealousness." For Justin, fighting a perfect fight means unwavering discipline, refusing to get drawn into chaos, and exploiting the inevitable errors of an eager opponent. Experience, for Justin, is not just a number. He candidly admits that being younger and undefeated looks great on paper, but it doesn't win fights. What truly matters, he asserts, is who keeps their skills sharp and performs flawlessly for the entire 25 minutes. He recognizes the mistakes he's made in the past by not taking danger seriously and vows not to repeat them. This fight is a moment where nothing else matters, not past records, not odds, not popularity. It's about being present, perfect, and disciplined in the crucible of combat, a lesson learned through years at the top. Justin relishes his underdog status. He proudly boasts an 8-2 or 8-3 record as an underdog in the UFC, a testament to his ability to upset expectations. He highlights his consistent presence among the top 5 since 2017, proof that his sustained excellence isn't by chance. His longevity and ability to remain at the elite level, despite facing the best year after year, speak volumes about his skill and resilience. For Justin, the odds are just numbers, fueling his drive to prove, yet again, that he belongs at the pinnacle of the sport. Arman Tsarukyan's pick for Justin was refreshingly devoid of hype. His reasoning was purely pragmatic. He believes Justin will actually fight him, whereas Paddy would try to avoid him if he wins. Arman starkly stated, "Because Justin, he is going to fight with me, but Paddy wins, he is going to try to avoid me and try not to fight me because he is not a man like Justin." This pointed commentary revealed a deeper dissatisfaction with what Arman perceived as Paddy's strategic sidestepping of tough matchups, prioritizing career protection over ultimate tests. Aman's critique continued, questioning Paddy's intentions if he were to win. He implied that Paddy would rather protect his position than willingly test himself against the division's hardest matchups, specifically targeting Arman himself. This wasn't about Paddy's confidence in his own abilities, but rather a perceived reluctance to challenge the truly elite. For Arman, his pick wasn't based on technique or style, but on a more profound respect for a fighter like Justin, who in his view is unequivocally willing to step up to any challenge without hesitation. James Lynch, however, leaned towards Paddy, primarily citing the significant age gap and contrasting activity levels. Justin, at 37, has slowed his fight pace, while the 31-year-old Paddy has been much more active. Lynch emphasized that this age and activity disparity could be crucial in a 5-round fight, especially considering Justin's history of brutal wars. He also noted Paddy's 3-inch reach advantage, another factor that could play a significant role as the fight progresses, and both men start to feel the effects of sustained pressure. Lynch also offered a nuanced perspective on Justin's renowned power, acknowledging its danger, but not treating it as a guaranteed knockout. He pointed out that Justin hasn't been consistently finishing opponents lately, suggesting that the Justin just walks in and ends it narrative is overplayed. For Lynch, Paddy surviving the early rounds and weathering the storm is a very realistic outcome, paving the way for his own strengths to come into play later in the fight, once Justin's initial explosiveness potentially wanes under sustained pressure. Mere Lynch truly sided with Paddy was on the ground. Despite Justin's solid takedown defense on paper, Lynch argued that he can be taken down. Once there, the dynamics changed dramatically, with Paddy's record showing a clear ability to finish fights on the mat. Lynch saw this as Paddy's clearest path to victory, especially as Justin begins to slow down from the relentless pace and pressure. This strategic advantage on the canvas, in Lynch's view, becomes the definitive factor once the fight inevitably enters deeper waters. Jorge Masvidal leaned strongly toward Justin, citing experience as the paramount factor. He emphasized Justin's journey through the sport's toughest fights, his encounters with heavy pressure, and his proven ability to navigate the real chaos at the top level. Masvidal argued that Justin intimately knows what it feels like when a fight gets ugly and chaotic, a level of seasoned understanding that Paddy, still learning at this elite tier, has yet to fully acquire. This gap in battle-hardened experience, Masvidal believes, will be critical when the fight inevitably turns into a grinder. Masvidal further highlighted Justin's remarkable composure. When things go wrong, he noted Justin's ability to remain calm and analytical even when hit hard or pulled into messy exchanges, refusing to panic. This mental fortitude, according to Masvidal, is a defining trait that sets Justin apart. He concluded that unless Paddy can assert early control, Justin's relentless pressure and unflappable pace will slowly but surely take over the fight, breaking his opponent down through sheer willpower and a veteran's understanding of how to endure and conquer adversity. This fight, crafted as much in the gym as in the octagon, pits Justin's battle-tested experience, explosive power, and relentless pressure against Paddy's evolving skills, undeniable confidence, and a meticulously drilled game plan. Paddy's serious training indicates a deliberate effort to hone technique, timing, and composure in the face of chaos, qualities Justin traditionally leverages. Both men bring unique tool sets, setting the stage for a fast-paced, intense clash where a single misstep could irrevocably alter the course of their careers. It's a high-stakes chess match where physical prowess meets mental fortitude, promising explosive drama.